Happy Saturday morning. I am sitting down to start my charting for next week, and I thought I would share a big pick look at Tesla. This is the weekly. Our top trend line has been held since November of 2021, so it's been there for a really long time. We've bounced, and each time we bounce off of that, it's a pretty big tumble, right? Until about June of 2023. So we kind of pushed off that bottom trend line. We came up, we tapped the top and came back down. So we have been holding this level right through here, about that 212 to about 200-ish as support. You can see each one of these little push-ups are getting smaller and smaller, so that is a squeeze. The next one, if we do go back up, we go back to about 260, and then we need to break out above, or we're going to have to break below soon since the squeeze is getting tighter and tighter, right? You can see how much smaller it would get. So what's interesting is these push off this support level basically is going up to about 297, I apologize, and it's right around that 212 area. So if we come back again in the same area, somewhere between 200, 194.50, and that 212 area, if we get our little bounce, we could go back to 260, and that would be a great opportunity to jump into like a swing. And then we see about 260, what do? Do we break finally and see more upside, or is it going to push us yet again down to this support level? The other alternative is if we break underneath this 194.50, so below this wick, if we break, we could actually see a lot more downside. The bottom trend line goes as low as about 105. That would be a huge drop, huge sale for Tessie, right? So there's a couple things that could be happening here that we want to keep our eyes on as far as maybe longer plays. What opportunities do we have to get into a couple different swings? Personally, I would love for us to bounce here and go hit that 260, and then obviously break out would be amazing. But we don't know. So the squeeze is definitely getting tighter as we get closer to that top trend line and smaller areas to move. So just keep in mind this 212 to 194.50 is definitely going to be a bounce area for potential bounce back to the upside. Again, that top trend line sits about 260, so we could see somewhere in there, and then we could actually push back down, or we could get our break above. And the other alternative is that we break below this area, the 194.50 to 212, and see more downside. Okay, so we did break below here just for a second, but we have really come back down and really held each time and touched. So I've continued to leave that lower trend line just so we can kind of get an idea as we go down, if we do break and go down, kind of where we would potentially bounce. So these are some areas that I'm keeping in mind. That 194.50 to 200 could be a bounce zone, and hopefully we can get up to that 260 and then surpass it. So this is what I'm watching right now for Tesla. Hopefully that makes sense, bigger picture, and what our potential swing opportunities might be.